Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. I am your host, Joshua David, and we have a very special show. We're having a great time talking about in the first segment about what these markets opportunities are showing us right now. And for people that are doing nothing right now, basically putting their head in the sand, this could be, a dramatic thing for people down the road, and you won't realize that until later on. That's why it's so important. We're going to continue this discussion about protecting portfolios, opportunities for up markets, and opportunities. Now think about that word, opportunities for down markets. We're seeing some big drops in the market, especially this week. So we're going to continue talking about that. We have investing classes locally. I gave tickets away to on the last segment there for people in Denver, Colorado, Bloomington, Minnesota, Atlanta, Georgia. If you're looking, Atlanta, Georgia. If you're looking for information on how to protect portfolios, strategies for up markets, strategies for down markets, Al teaches these classes. I teach these as well locally. So call in right. Actually, let's do a text. Text right now for 2 tickets for this investing class and a insider's kit that will help you get started right away. Text the word invest. That's text invest to the number 484848 for 2 tickets. When you text in, you're going to get a date back with a schedule that might work on best for you. So call or text the word invest to the number 484848. So Al, we had a good discussion on that first segment about we'll call it the bad for a lot of people that are just buying and holding or buying and hoping, right? But there are opportunities with down markets as well. So this could be a good thing if you know how to short the market. So let's continue to talk about down markets, up markets, different strategies, really the public or Wall Street is doing. What's your insight with this down market, and what are people being put into?
Well, when we talk about opportunities, and I think, unfortunately, a lot of people are put into portfolios where the only opportunity they have to benefit is in an up market.
So how many directions? That's one direction. How many directions does the market have?
Well, the last time I counted, there were 3 of them.
Okay.
It was up, down, and sideways.
Think about that for a second. People are being put in a one-directional strategy
That's
and
right.
being conditioned to think that's awesome.
Right. And the market has to go up in order for them to benefit. If you buy a stock, you buy a mutual fund, what has to happen for you to benefit? It has to go up in value. What's been happening? It's been going down in value. And so you're missing out on that opportunity because the pros out there, the people that understand Wall Street, the traders, they know how to benefit in all 3 directions. Those are the things that we talk about. We're not really interested in talking about what the typical Wall Street strategy is for you. Anybody can do that. It's basically just buying something and holding on to it. What we want to do is show you the opportunities in different market conditions. So it doesn't make any difference what's happening in the economy or with the market. There are opportunities available to you, but you have to know what they are. You have to know how to find them. And keep it simple. Again, there's so many confusing strategies out there that people are selling or that you have access to at the library. Let's keep it simple. And to keep it simple, this is what you want to do. What if there was a way for you to get a reading on where buying pressure was and where selling pressure was? If you could do that, you could understand or get a good feeling for which direction the market is going to go. That buying pressure and that selling pressure, that comes from institutions that are active in the markets, and they're active regardless of what's happening. And one of the slides that we show in our classes, Josh, is back in, I think it was February of 2018, the Dow was down 1,000 points in one day. That was in 2018. That was a bigger 1,000-point move than it is today, percentage-wise. But it was down 1,000%. Goldman Sachs made $200 million.
1,000 points, not percent.
Thank you.
That would be rough.
Thank you. It takes me a little while after laying on the beach to get back to saying things correctly.
Too many pina coladas, Al.
Yes, that's right.
I was wondering why you were looking cross-eyed at me today.
Oh, are you? I thought you were in the next room.
No, I'm over here, Al.
Okay.
I'm over here.
All right. I'm clear now. I'm clear-headed now, folks. I'm going to speak hopefully correctly the rest of the show here. But Goldman Sachs was up 200% that day that the Dow was down 1,000 points.
Think about that.
What does that tell you? Well, it tells you, number one, that there are ways of benefiting in a down market. But if you look at the consistency of the professional traders, of the big firms, and by consistency, I mean winning trades in different market conditions, they are consistent. And it doesn't make any difference to them, and it shouldn't to you or doesn't have to you, because we will show you what those strategies are, and we'll show you how you can benefit. Right now, we're getting all sorts of phone calls, Josh, from people that are coming into workshops or have come to one and are becoming students, and they're just scared to death. The pain is so obvious that these people are showing. So I think maybe we look at risk management as pain management, and you don't have to go to bed at night worrying and sweating and waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning wondering what's going to happen to your portfolio. Sleep at night because you know that you're protected. And there's the things that are really important are your entry and your exit criteria. Before you go into any position, know what to do if you have a loss. Get out with a small loss. Know what to do if you have a profit. Get out and protect your profit. And it all comes down to identifying the correct price. Mm-hmm. That is indicated to us by institutions because of the way they have to trade. Our core strategy can help you to identify in a price chart where the proper price is, which then is going to dictate the quality of your protection, your risk management, and the quality of your profit.
Yep. As you were kind of talking there, I was just kind of thinking about, I guess, the mindset of people and what people are thinking when markets are doing this. And you brought up a couple key words. Well, the one being they're scared, right? Mm-hmm. So here's just kind of talking through this a little bit. When people get scared about something, and here's what happened in 2000, 2008. They did nothing.
Oh, that's right.
People don't act when they're afraid because they're not comfortable. It's out of their comfort zone because you talked about in the beginning of the show here, people have been complacent to do nothing for many, many years. Well, now is not the time, just because you're a little afraid, to be scared and do nothing. So that's why you're talking about being comfortable making smart investing decisions, but you can't do that without learning how to do it first.
Correct.
You have to get educated, and it's just knowledge, right? But then you got to build the skill, and that's what you teach a lot in these investing classes is how to build knowledge and start with the skill to be comfortable making smart investing decisions. So because people don't want to just go in there and just guess if they don't know how, so they do nothing. Don't do nothing. Learn how to do that. We have investing classes that you and I both teach locally here in Denver, Colorado, Bloomington, Minnesota, Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in any one of these locations and you just want to be more comfortable and confident with your investments and maybe sleep better at night, text right now for 2 tickets for this investing class. We do these on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Text right now. Text the word invest to the number 484848 for 2 tickets. You're going to get a text back with a date that might work for you. Just reply which one, and then we'll make sure we get a call to you to make sure that it fits in your schedule. You can bring a guest. A lot of people like to bring their spouse with. That is included with that. And you're also going to receive a financial quick start kit that will help you actually get started right away. So, Al, as I had mentioned in that last segment, I was having a conversation with some family about the markets, what's happening right now. And they were talking to their money manager, their broker or advisor. And this is not to put down any broker or any advisor. This is just a reality of what's happened, but also what's happening again. And they were saying, they were told now is not the time to panic with your 401k investments. Don't make quick decisions. Right. Trust the experts. All this stuff. Markets go up over time. And I was thinking about this. I was like, gosh. I've been told this by people that are coming to the academy because they experienced 2000, 2008. So they've been telling all these puppy dogs and rainbows because their job is to gain assets under management.
That's correct.
So I like to do research. So I said, heck, I'm going to Google it. I'm going to Google 401k performance, and here's what came up, Al. And this is it's a article based off of, looks like it's CNBC, and it says now is not the time to panic with your 401k investments. And here are some of the headlines. Just think about this for a second. You may have been told this in the past. Maybe you should revisit your allocations, right? Well, the time to revisit your allocations is before markets start to drop, which we've been talking about for several weeks in protection. Here's another one that I thought was great. Adjust your return expectations. Remember, they've been conditioning people for so long that, whatever 6, 8, 10% is a normal return in the market because that's what the markets do. Well, now they're saying adjust that a little bit. So they're conditioning people to, I guess, it's almost like setting people up for a letdown. It's kind of like one of those things,
exactly.
Preparing people because they want to keep them in the market, right? And here's another one. Make sure you have ample cash. And that's what we teach a lot in these investing classes is how to take small amounts of capital using leverage, especially with your retirement account, and then be more capital efficient. So the rest of that is protected. And here's the one I really want to talk about that I want you to shed some light on. It says, resist the urge to check your account.
Oh, sure.
Think about that. That is your hard-earned money you've been working for all your life, and then you just forget about it. They're training people to do nothing, let the market go down, let your accounts go down.
Great.
Over time, your return just dwindles. How do you help people at Online Trading Academy take more charge, take more action in those retirement accounts to protect what they have?
Well, that word time is a critical one because it's a decaying asset. It's probably the most valuable asset we have, and it decays on a daily basis. So they're right in saying that the market always comes back. It always has. We've gone through world wars. We've gone through depressions. The market always comes back, but sometimes it takes 10 years or 20 years.
And do you have that time?
Well, a lot of people don't. You know, if you're 5 years old and you have a big portfolio, maybe you're in decent shape. But and they'll say that even if you're like in your 20s, then you really don't have to worry about it because you have a lot of time to recoup a loss. I don't care how young you are. If you're letting your portfolio value go down, you're wasting time because it takes time for it to come back, whether it's a year or 5 years or 10 years. If you were in the market...
Hey, hold on a second, Al. Let's. I want to interrupt you because I think it's important. How are you helping people get out of that mindset?
Well, you get out of that mindset by, number one, knowing that you can have those risk management, pain management strategies. That is the number one thing. In fact, what we want to do is teach you first how to manage risk, how to lose properly before you even think about making a profit. That's the most important thing.
Protect you, keep you, because if you don't keep it, you can't grow it.
Doesn't make any difference how much you make. It's how much you keep that is important.
So what do you think is a main strategy?
Well, having you can use stop losses. You can use options. There's option strategies you can use as an insurance policy. You can use options. In these markets, options can be used. You can sell and you can buy different options that will allow you to protect your assets and also benefit from them. Here's what people have been taught, Josh, and this is part of the problem. They've been taught by Wall Street just to buy a diversified portfolio and then hope for the best. So basically what they're saying is buy a bunch of stocks or a mutual fund, which is a bunch of stocks, sit back and wait for 20 or 40 years and hope to collect maybe 5 to 8% a year, but also know that you're exposing yourself to 50 or 60% drawdowns.
Yep.
That's not working. And there are assets and strategies, and it doesn't take a lot of work to do this. You know, it's a little bit of effort, but isn't what you have financially now and in the future, maybe that's worth a little bit of effort to learn how to get the maximum benefit out of what you have. I like to look at every dollar that people have as like an employee. If you have a business, you want each employee to produce for you. Same thing with your dollars.
Yep.
Make sure that you're getting the maximum productivity regardless of what's happening in the market.
Yep. I think you brought up a great point is it worth it to learn the skills? Is it worth it to learn the techniques? I think people owe it to themselves. You owe it to yourself. You work all your life and hope for a good retirement. You work all your life and try to build this retirement just to let it disappear. I think you guys, if you're listening right now, I think you owe it to yourself to learn now. Learn the skills. Learn the techniques to protect what you have. I want to continue talking about this, Al, as far as how you're helping people protect what they have, but also have opportunities as these markets have been rolling over. We've been talking about this for weeks now, and that's why it's important to talk about it prior to it happening, protecting what they have. And you talked about options. I want to talk about those strategies in the next segment. But Al, we got a lot of people listening, and they want to take charge. They feel they're worth it to learn the skills and techniques. And if you want to get started, you got to start today. I mean, you can call in right now for 2 tickets. You can call 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets for an investing class to learn what these skills are, be introduced to some of these concepts, and get started today. You can also text right now. Text the word INVEST for 2 tickets for the investing class locally here in Denver, Bloomington, and Atlanta. Text the word INVEST to the number 484848. When you get it, you'll get a text right away with a day that might work for you. Just respond, and then we're going to get you set up for that class. Coming up next, I want to continue talking about opportunities with all this volatility that we're seeing in the markets. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We'll be right back.